to spare some your time and join us at FKP seminar, a regular event by ANU Indonesia project. I'm also very happy to have some unfamiliar faces from outside SMERU. So I think this will be very interesting because today we will have a very interesting topic about lifetime in food price volatility. And maybe let me introduce myself. My name is Joseph. I'm a junior researcher at SMERU, and beside me is our speaker today, Rachma Indah Nurbani. She will present a presentation based on our SMERU research about food price volatility. In a quick introduction to our speaker, Rachma Indah Nurbani is a researcher in SMERU. She has been a researcher for about 4 years in SMERU, and she achieved her master's degree at Università degli Studi di Roma La Sapienza from Rome, Italy, and focusly majoring on non-farm activities and rural development. So I think it's very relevant to our topics today. And a quick refreshment on our topic today, lifetime in food price volatility. I think this will be a very insightful and useful for our socio-economic policy debate today. As you know, food price is a very integral part of human activities, and also moreover for poor people, I think, because food is a major part of their expense and consumption, because all of people is depend on food price, but I think poor people are more affected when food price is raised and something like that. And as we know that in recent years that Indonesia faced some moment when some commodity is rising up very quickly, like in garlic and meat in recent days. So I think it's very important to understand at the micro level that how our people, our communities, moreover our poor people got affected from this price volatility, and how they are coping with this uncertain situation and how they adapt with this situation. So this research basically is a cross-country research from some developing countries. So this Indonesian case is a part of many other nation cases. So, and this research is also a multi-year study. So it starts from 2012 until 2015. So what we got now is some like progress research from 2020. We already conduct a research in 3 villages in Indonesia, and we are already doing like interviewing communities, interviewing households about how they feel about our food price volatility and how they're coping with it. And this research is in the collaboration of IDS, International Development Studies, part of University of Sussex, and also Oxfam. So I think we will have about 45 until 60 minutes presentation, and then followed by an open discussion. So I think it will be better if we can get through the whole presentation first, then have a question and answer session. So if you have comment, respond, or question, please keep in your mind or write it down in the notes, then ask it at discussion. So Rachma, I think pleasant time is yours.
Thank you, Jojo. Joseph, I will. First of all, on behalf of the team, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity presenting our ongoing study, like in the time of food price volatility in this FKP forum. Today, I would like to present you a short presentation about our study on the food price volatility. Also, some preliminary findings from our first year research in 2012, And also at the end of the presentation, we would like also to share with you about our special topic of the year, that is Future Farmer, about young people aspirations in the time of food price volatility. So this is the presentation online. The question is, why we are studying food price volatility? Departing from the fact that the world is now facing more and more high and volatile food price, and regarding to this impact not only in increasing poverty, hunger and malnutrition, but also in the other social dimension at household and community level. Oxfam, in collaboration with IDS and also local partners in 10 developing countries, conducting research to generate evidence about food price impact at community and household level. Basically, the study objective is to contribute in improving the food security prospect of poor and vulnerable people in developing countries exposed to food price volatility by improving knowledge of how people live are affected by food price volatility. The key research questions it will address are: how do high and unpredictable food price affected overall well-being and development in poor or vulnerable communities? We also try to answer the question of how does food price volatility affect the essential day-to-day work of keeping families fed and cared for, and also how well do the support system on which people routinely rely help them to cope with the situation of changing in the food price. Just like what Joseph has already mentioned, this study is a 4-year longitudinal study starting in 2012 and until 2015. It will conducting in 23 communities in 10 countries, the 3 communities in Indonesia. And we are going to use 2 approach for the study that are qualitative component using community case study, key informant interview, household case study with 10 poor household, FGD, and some observation. For the quantitative component, we are going to analyze national and local food price volatility and food security data. What we are going to be focused is on the neglected social dimension impacts of the food price volatility. Some description about our study site. So we were conducting our study in 3 sites in Indonesia. The first one is in peri-urban area in Bekasi, and the other 2 is in rural that are in Cianjur and Banjar. The Bekasi site located close to the one of the biggest industrial park in Southeast Asia, that is FM 2100 in Bekasi, and the local livelihood of the people in the village were highly influenced by development of the industrial in its roles. Previously, most of them were doing farming, but then because of influence of the industrialization in the area, they're switching to be a landowner, to be a landlord renting dormitory for the workers in the factories. at present there is an increasing trend of people running business, selling basic necessities for daily of the workers, such as food stalls, mobile phone counter, etc. While in Cianjur side, the village is located near to a fast-growing area of Cianjur, that is Puncak, and most of the people are living from agriculture. The village also known as a sending area of migrant workers, which is mostly to Middle East. And for Banjar side, the area is one of the major rubber producer area in the South Kalimantan. Most of the people are relying their life in rubber related industry. Okay. In this session, I would like to present you how global food price volatility affect the national food price. Here we can see that there's an increase on global food price in 2012. That is particularly so during the months following the July. In here, this is when the staple food producer area in some major exporting countries suffering from drought and heat wave. And also the July spike also noticeable mostly for maize and soybean. I'm sure that all of us must be still remember what's happening last time in the 2012, that we are also suffering from hiking price of soybean that causing the price also in the price of tempe and tofu. So that's why what we are thinking that the global food price also affected to the national food price. In the next slide, we can also see that the similar pattern also revealed in the national food price trend. There increase and also decrease the price of food during the 2008. One of the factor influencing the price of the national food price is fuel price. As we can see that in May, there's the decrease in the national fuel price. Even though this is a subsidy price, but I mean the price of premium is subsidies, but at that time government put additional subsidy. That's why the price getting lower. What is the condition of the food price of food security in Indonesia? Based on a global food security index conducted by Economist Intelligence Unit, Indonesia food security status ranked 48 out of 105 countries in the world. This is considered as moderate level, that is a level above the lowest level. So this is quite good, but not really good.
64 or 48?
Oh, 64. Sorry, what? Pardon. Also in 2012, the World Food Program (WFP) estimates that there is approximately 25 million of Indonesians are food insecure. Also from the nutrition side, prevalence of undernourished under 5 children is also at moderate level, 17.9%. And this is our position comparing with the other 9 countries in the study. Here Indonesia in the most safe position, together with Bolivia, Pakistan, and Vietnam. This slide what already mentioned before, that we are facing an increase of food price and also the volatility of the food price. The question is, who is the most affected to the more higher and volatile food price? Here we can see that despite decreasing trend of percent of income allocated for food, if we see in a more detail, the poor still spend most of their income for food. The most poor, the poorest people spend the biggest part of their income for food. And at the other hand, the wealthiest people in the group, in the community, spend more on non-food spending, so that they have opportunity to saving and invest for their own sustainability. Now I'm going to present some of our preliminary findings from our first year study in 2012. This is the table of the prices, but unfortunately what we are presenting in the slide is only price of food items that are available in the 3 sites. So this is to compare the food items. That's why we only put the food item that is available in all the sites. The things that important to note, that high price at community and household level were higher than those recorded at district level. This is how people, how the community coping with the situation of the hiking food price and unstable food price. So just like here, because of the food price hiking, income become insufficient to meet the end. Meaning that it reduces people purchasing power. And there's also impact on the price of prepared food and the food stall. So it's like if a year before with 7,000 people can get rice with fish and vegetable, also iced tea. But now to get that kind of menu, they have to pay 10,000. There's also coping conducted by local grocery owner. They reduce the amount of grocery package. It's like for tempe, they reduce the amount, the size of the tempe, so that people can buy at the same price, but with the lower size. As the consequence, of the food hiking food price and food price volatility at household level, they're reducing food consumption with less side dishes and less amount of some food items. This is one of the examples that they reduce the amount of the rice they cook. They usually cook 2 liters and reduce it to 1 liter. Also, they are economizing the other food item by eating cheaper food, such as salty food or more vegetable or less eggs. But in some cases, people keep maintain to buy eggs, but only for the children, not for the elder. Also buying less amount of food, relying on cheap processed food to make food tasty, such as instant flavoring, something like that, so that they don't need to buy another food item. Also, in some places, we found that people collecting vegetable from surround, just like so do they need to buy any vegetable. This is the food basket, one of from our tree site. From here we can see that in urban they have a more variety of food, and we also found that in Cianjur they have less variety of food. In Banjar, even though it's also in the rural, but the wealth condition of the people is considered better than in Cianjur, so that the people still can buy ikan asin. So as we can see here, the Banjar people in the village of the in Banjar, they can still have a source of protein. But in Cianjur, the protein is only from tofu and egg, but actually the egg is only for the children and not the parents. In here in Bekasi, this is they have local specific food that is jengkol. This is considered as expensive food.
Expensive.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. During the situation, I mean, both of them are suffering from food price volatility, but the condition is still better off in Bekasi, in the urban side.
Would you mean this as the typical daily consumption of household?
Yeah, this is typical daily consumption of the household. But in the later slide, we can see that this is the pattern. So not every day people in Cianjur can afford to buy tofu and eggs. So this is the menu a day before, and this is the menu of the today. Yesterday they can eat salty fish, curry, and today they can buy tofu and eggs. But like I mentioned before, this is for the children. And this one is another example of the food basket in one of the household, which is the head of the household is an employee and the wife is working in the garment factory. So he said that today he can only afford to buy ikan teri, but day before he can afford to get another side dish, which is sambal. This is consists of tomato, chilies, and some instant flavor. But he buy it in package. So the grocery store, just like I mentioned before, they do some adjustment by making a package so that people can buy at a cheaper price. Here he said that sometimes if he doesn't have any money, he will buy fritter bala at food stall so that he can save very much from there. It's like the price of bala is 500. he will buy 6 for all the family member and that is the menu for today. That's what he said.
That's eggs for how many persons?
1 children. Yeah, one child. Yeah. The woman we interviewed said that she has to provide her child with protein because her child is still in school age. I think that's one of a good point we got from the woman. This is another impact of the food price volatility that is in the home life pattern. So the hardship of the crisis making men find difficult to get a job, and at this time women take the position as the home breadwinner. But there's kind of problem. It's like when a woman has to be a breadwinner, she has to leave her responsibility to do care work at home. So this woman, she used to prepare food and minding her children and preparing house, but because of he's now working as a maid in her neighbor house, so she has to go to work in early morning, so he cannot do the care work that she used to do before. So for that reason also, she just give away the children some amount of money so that the children can buy the food themselves first. So this is we are a little bit worrying about the food security of the children, because as we know that children cannot make a decision what is the healthy food or not healthy food, something like that. So this is another impact of the food price volatility to the home life pattern. There's also changing priorities in social relation. Here, the family and community support come as the first resort, but actually they are considered as less reliable during the economic hardship. This is because one of the reasons is a woman that we are interviewed. She said that yes, if she asks help from her relative or neighbor, they will come anytime in need. But unfortunately, they are also in the hard position, in the difficult position. They are also poor, so that they cannot do anything. And there's also less participation in social activities. Some of the people we interviewed said that now he's happy if he gets with wedding invitation, but actually in other side he also feel discomfort because of if we get wedding invitation, so meaning that he has to provide some money for the gift. So that's one of the problems they are facing in the time of food price volatility. This is what we can see the coping people done. Who is doing what? From here we can see that most of the coping is done by women. And after that men and children, not so many. But here we can see that women try to economizing everything. Firstly, to keep the food intake of the family. But if she already economizing everything, but the money is still not enough, so she has to reducing the food intake. That's the point. And from what men done, we can see that most of the coping done by men is actually not kind of coping, but this is more about how to save how to cut the family spending that he usually spend from family money. And for the children, here the children also in debt, but this is for family needs. One of the reasons why children in debt, because of the man feel ashamed to go to the, for example, to the food stall to get in debt, so that he will ask his wife or his children to the food stall. Also, there are some children doing side job, but not the full-time job, so they are still at schooling. From here also, we can see that in the variety of coping in rural, variety of coping in rural is more than in urban. Just like this, actually, for in the next slide, there's also source of support. For the source of support in urban area, they have more source of support than in rural area. But for the coping, because of their lack of source of support, they do more coping than the urban. Just like in rural, some women changing the way of cooking. So she used to fry, but now he changed to boil the food. Here, source of support. We can see from here also that government programs is everywhere, but the most considered as helpful for the food price volatility mostly are skin, because they can afford to buy more cheaper price of rice. And here actually the list is also based on the accessibility of the source of the support. And the up list, friend, neighbor, grocery, outsourcing company, they are considered as the most frequently accessed by people in Bekasi. In Cianjur, most of the people frequently access debt from neighbor and loan shark. And in Banjar, they are highly rely on their relatives and government programs. Only in Banjar, only small of them having a debt to the loan shark, because there the loan shark is, they have more choice of the source of the support. Just like they can go to the middleman to have in debt or grocery store, or even to the bank. Because in Banjar, most of them are smallholder farmer, so they still have some assets, so that they can borrow from bank. This is our special focus of the year, that is about future farmer, young people's aspiration in a time of food price volatility. Basically, for the future farmer, we were asking the youth group what are the prospects for young people and how does agriculture feature in their life. And most of them are not willing, the answer is most of them are not willing to be a farmer. There's some reason. It's like, maybe I can give you some example. There's a girl working in the government, and she feels that he's more keen to work at garment factory rather, of course, rather to be a farmer. And she also said that it's better for me to get married and being a housewife and do nothing at home rather to be a farmer. And there's also another youth when during the FKP, the boy asked the facilitator secretly not to tell his friend that he's working as a farmer because he feels ashamed about his job as a farmer. He's working as a farm labor. And also in Bekasi, the factors influence youth decision to be not interested to the farmer. There are two. One is that is in fact there's lack of land in the area. There's no paddy field, or because of they already converted into factories, and also because of the local factories offer a more attractive future for the young people. There is also another reason of the youth don't want to be a farmer. That is actually surprising us. It's like a girl give an answer about why she don't want to be a farmer. She said that he don't want to work in farm because it would be working under the sun, and it would be make her skin dark, something like that. Yeah, and but that is real. We got that kind of answer in two sides. We got the answer in Bekasi and also in Cianjur. Yeah, and both of them are girls. Yeah. There's another important factors influence the youth response. That is the parent willingness. Most of the parents, of course, don't want their children to be a poor farmer like them. What they want is their children to have a better job, and if only they want their children, they will let their children to be a farmer if only they own their own land. So as the landowner, not the farm labor. I think this is a rational decision of the people to have this kind of decision. This is because of our study is ongoing study, so we haven't yet finished the report, but soon we will finish it and start the second phase of the study, the second year study. And for the second round, we are plan to have a focus on migrant worker, but it's still open for the discussion. Hopefully, through this FKP seminar, we can get a feedback or input about our focus for the second round of the study. And we are also in the process of preparing our another study on the food price using integrated quantity-quality approach. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think this all from me, and the floor is.
Thank you, Bu Rachma, for presenting very interesting topic. I think the findings, I think the preliminary findings from this research, I think reconfirm our expectation that food prices hurts more for poor people, as we see that we know that more poor people in Indonesia mostly live in rural, and we see that rural people are coping and are more hurt more, I think, from food price volatility. They must to have less food and less variation of food, something like that. And I think to a little bit sum up the presentation, the food price affect on three ways: their home life pattern, their consumption pattern, as I think is very logical, and also it affects social relation for the communities. And it is very interesting to see the coping session, who is doing what, and then we can see the gender perspective of this situation. That it's very interesting to see that women are more affected than men and then child, and they are, I think, negatively affected because the woman must reduce food intake, and also happen in men and child, they must do side job, you know. And but I think the positive impact is there's a positive impact that the situation forced the men to reduce their cigarettes. I think this is the only positive impact, but I think the negative impact is a lot more. And also it's also interesting to know that young people are also affected in different ways, and I think it will be very interesting to open our discussion. And I think, like Bu Rachma said, that we not just only expect a question, but I think it's a good idea to, if you have a good idea or maybe a recommendation or some ideas and feedback to how this research must going on in the future, and maybe there's some missing point or missing perspective that in our research, so it will be develop our research better. And I think we'll be started for, I think, 3 questions or 3 response first. Maybe you can raise your hand. Is there any question or response? Yeah. Yep. 1, 2, and yeah, Padma. So, microphone. I think you are feel free to have your coffee and tea, so we are not too stressed in this seminar. We have provided tea and coffee, so please take.
Thank you. My name is Suek from Faculty of Forestry, Bukal University. This is very interesting information or study here. But maybe I need to clarify what's mean of the food here. We understand in Indonesia that we know sembako. There's 9 main food that require people. And the other things here, the food price between one area and others is too vary. What's the problem here? Because of the scarcity of our world. This is, I think, the problem maybe in Indonesia here is why the price so high. Like rise between 2011 and 2012, almost double. The price is almost double from 2011. If we compare with Malaysia, the food price there is almost stable. Since like meat, for example, that the hot topic now. In Malaysia, the average from last year to now is only about 37 to 38,000 troops per kilos, but in Indonesia it jumped up to 90 and one go back down 40. So I think what really the problem here. And the other things here, there's any conversation about the education, because sometimes the food consumption or food, what their consumption will be related to the education, because they don't know about the nutrition. The maybe they like to eat bakso rather than rice. This is another problem here. Regarding the WHO data, there's about 7.5 million stunting in Indonesia. That's very low. It seems like Ethiopia. So I think this is most important that maybe most of the people or maybe the parents too busy on their work and they leave their children to eat what they like, or they not provide a proper food. I think this is interesting about the future farmers. It's very interesting. Most of the people, they better prefer to be paoga or tukang ojek rather than work in the farm, because it's very easy, or to be tukang parkir, because just sitting they can get money. I think the problem here is mostly the education. This is my opinion, but I think it will be discussed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sueb. Maybe Pak Darno? Oh, Ibu?
Lady first.
My name is Maria from the FKP program. I have three questions. The first one is, what is the consideration of choosing these very different villages? Yeah, is that the same apply also to other countries in this study? And because if you compare and between the farming and then also the rubber plantation and also the urban migrant is very different characteristic. And why not choosing also the eastern part of Indonesia, like the Maluku or NTT, which poverty is very high and very what is the consideration of choosing this area? And the second question, in the quantitative analysis, we also measure the anthropometric to see the nutritional status of the children. And what is the sample size of each area? Well, for the future studies, the third one, perhaps we have to consider also like the one in the Bekasi. They already almost urban side. We have to consider also the expenditure on non-food item, like the expenditure for playing games, actually. Interactive games, which is already in Warnet, yeah. There's also spend some money, yeah. And in the rural area, perhaps the expenditure of the smoking is very high. To be considered also in this study. And well, I think that's all for it.
Do I have to speak in English or bahasa satu value, Mr. Moderator? So I would like to congratulate the Rachma for the excellent presentation and also the team. I think in terms of the topic, this is a very relevant for our policy making process at the present time in Indonesia, and also for the research purposes, understanding better about the life of the food. Absolutely, this is a very important topic. We're talking about poverty, especially as you know, as in the introduction, I have the number that about 2/3 of the income of the poor actually goes to food. And about 2/3 of that actually goes to rice. So food is definitely very important. Volatility of food is very important in the life of the food. I would like to start from the last presentation about these features that I think you have to continue working on this one, and especially complement with the quality information from TPS, from SUSNAS, from secondary information to strengthen the argument. So my question is actually on slide number 23, on the source of support in dealing with coping. So my question is very simple: is this a ranking of important, or is it just arbitrary? Because this is surprising that now the government programs came third for Cianjur, for example, and for Kajian. If this is about rank, or if otherwise, what has been the government doing so far with Raskin, with other program? I think that it has to follow zero. And the next slide is also important, 24. If you look at this, the future farmers, young people's life, I think there's it should open the eyes of the policymakers in terms of their perception that actually cash is actually can be very superior than in-kind support. But why we keep doing it by distributing rice for the poor, for example? Actually, what matters the most for the poor is smoothing their consumption by having saving, for example. So I think this is stories like this we bring. I think we have Ibu Nino, the head of the Compass group, editor, and maybe this kind of story can be put into the public knowledge about the importance of food security. So yesterday actually we had discussion Ibu Hari and Line Minister with Minister of Trade. Actually they are now start to formulating what is considered to be sembako, Pak. Apa namanya, pokok ya, bahan pokok ya, bahan pokok, bahan pangan. I think that the discussion with our colleague from the Ministry of Agriculture is mostly about production. But we know that it's the key is about productivity, and I told the story about this famine in 1972. We had food everywhere, but people suffered poverty increase in Bangladesh simply because they don't have the entitlement to that food. So this is the storyline because it came about policy making process. The key is about having the purchasing power of the poor. So if you look at the coping mechanisms are still the same as what Pak Asep and myself did in 1978 for Indonesian crisis. It's about the same storyline. It comes and again, and how should we smooth this consumption for the poor so that they can cope with the shock. So that's my comment, and also here I would like to congratulate this study. This is very important, and you have to share it with others. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much for the questions and comments and input. Firstly, I think I would like to answer the question from Pak Aswad. The food what we are referred in the study is staple food and 9 basic needs and other essentials. So when we are doing interview and focus group discussion, we just let the food definition loose. So that is so the food we are referring in here is food that people usually consume in that area, and most of the food are staple food, and that including in the 9 basic needs. Actually, not only 9 basic needs and other essentials. So in the study, we not only monitor the food price, but also the non-food price such as gas price and firewood, something like that. That is supporting the food or food activities. And yeah, the problem of the high food price, and I think if we look back in the area of Suharto, we can see that if we look one of our important staple food is rice. So if we see during the Suharto era, the price of rice is considered more stable because at that time we do a lot of policy to stabilize stabilize the food price, such as, and also at that time we have Bulog as the stabilizer. So, I mean, just like at that time we have fertilizer subsidy for the farmer. I think now we do also have the fertilizer subsidy, but not as massive as that time. And also we have ceiling price policy, and also at that time Bulog have a more powerful position to regulate the food price, especially the staple food. And also at that time we have more sufficient buffer stock. It's like now I don't think that we have sufficient buffer stock because anytime we are get trouble with the hiking food price, what the government do is open the import for the commodity from the abroad, something like that. Yeah, that's one of the indicator that we don't have any sufficient buffer stock at this time. Yeah, maybe I don't have the data now, but we can see the trend that the food price during the Suharto and Bulog era is more stable than now. And also another factor is the high and volatile food price. It can also coming from the local factor, such as changing harvesting and cropping pattern, just like and causing the productivity of the paddy field decrease in some area decreasing because of pests, something like that. This is also related to the policy because in the past the government also regulate the harvesting and cropping season, and now they just let us free whenever we want to crop or harvest. They don't have any policy to prohibit us, something like that. The problem relating to the regulation on the harvest schedule we also found in Cianjur. So since the people do not do cropping and harvesting in unison, they found a lot of disease for the paddy field. So that most of the time they are suffering from loss in time of harvesting. And also about education and food consumption, we are totally agree because of that is one of the indicator of the food security. In the food security for the maybe Ibu Maria from the WFP knows better. In the utilization, one of the indicator is woman illiteracy and also woman education. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there's of course education influence the food security a lot, and also because of at household level, housewife mother is the one who have the most powerful to arrange food matters in the household. That's why the education of women also important for the food security. The question from Ibu Maria, actually the rationale of the site selection, we choose the 3 sites with 3 different characteristics in order to get insight about how the food price volatility affect people in different contexts. So we choose the site based on that reason. And why we choose sites nearby Jakarta, because it's more about technical reason, because of and also we have another hypothesis that we assume that more closer to Jakarta, they're supposed to be more safe. Food secure. So that is our rationale of the selection. And for the anthropometry, yes, we are looking at the data of the anthropometry, but in the macro picture of the study. So, but we didn't gather any data related to the nutrition when we are doing field research, because our field research is more about qualitative research, and what we are going to get from the research is kind of social dimension of the impact of the food price volatility that has been neglected. Because as we know, monitoring that has been conducted by government and the other part is more about quantitative data, and they more focus on the supply side and production of the food, just like crop production, productivity, post-harvest, something like that. But not many people giving attention to the social dimension of the food price, the impact of the food price volatility, especially in the household level. Yeah, that is our. And also, your input about to get information about expenditure not only on food items in the urban site. Actually, we did some of that. During our study field, we also asking about their expenditure of non-food item. But we didn't put in the presentation. But maybe if later on we can share. We were asking about. What we were asking is how much their income and how much their expenditure, and we can and most of the fact that we found in the field, I think it's similar with the macro data, that most of them are spending more on food rather than the non-food item. That is also because all of our household case study is coming from the poor group. Just for example, there's a household of a contract worker. So her husband working as contract worker in the factory in Bekasi. He got the salary is 1 million something, and after we sum up all the expenditure, we can see that more than 50% of the expenditure is for food expenditure. And after that, the other they also allocate big expenditure on education and transportation. Also, Yeah, Darno's comment. Yeah, actually I would like to, sorry because this slide is not really clear. We're supposed to put the score because we got the data from FGD and household interview. Actually, in our question, we asked them to give a score for accessibility and for usefulness. Here, we do the listing based on accessibility, and there's only three score for accessibility. That is rarely, often, and sometimes, or never. So actually, just like in Bekasi, friend, neighbors, grocery, outsourcing company, relatives, and boss, they are in the same score. So they are the most accessible for the people. And here also in the Cianjur, the government also the most accessible. The government programs which is asking also the most accessible for people. And also in Banjar, the reason is because Raskin is there every month, so they consider Raskin as the most accessible government program for them. And here, Charlo or Linderman, there's also food stall and friend. They are the most non-accessible for them. That's all from me. Any other question or comments or input?
Yeah, 1, 2, and we still have one. Is there any question? I'm passing.
Thank you. I'm Justin from SMERU. Thanks, Rachma. Yeah, I find some interesting issues here, particularly about the social relationship in your finding presentation. You mentioned that recent participation in social activities is one of the finding, and the other one is that family and community support are the first resort, but informal safety nets are less reliable during economic hardship. I remember when we were conducting the open poverty study in Makassar. It seems that it's almost similar that they have a problem in less particularly about the social activities, and they argue that the poor household tend to less participate in social activities just because they need more time to work, and social participation or social activities usually happen on the holidays, and they need more time. At the same time, even on the holidays, they still to work. But what makes me a little bit confused here is that you mentioned less participation, on the other hand, family and community support. What I think that, do you mean that the support here means a kind of transactive relation rather than social relation? What I mean transactive relation is that, okay, they help, they support, but it's a kind of loan, it's a kind of, it's just a loan. It's not about what you call it, social or empathy or something like that. Because you mentioned about the family, about the community. What I want to emphasize here, do you mean that this kind of relation still about transactive relation rather than what you mean, social relation in a community. Okay. And the second one is about the uang jajan or allowance for the kids. Yesterday we visited the same village that you already conducted the study in Cibulan, and I remember they still say that uang jajan or allowance for kids is still the main problem for them, because they have to provide every day, every time their children going to school. And we know that most poor households, they have more children, and then of course this will be affecting to more burden for them. Do you have any findings or any comments or any insights about that kind of things? Because I remember some studies when we in BOS and also in some other studies, allowance for kids is still kind of complaint that what the poor household usually say to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Yusuf.
Just one quick question. I know this is still quite early, these are preliminary findings, but...
Sorry, maybe name and your name.
Sorry, I'm Robert Smith from Cambridge Education. Have you been able to make any comparisons with any of the other countries in the study? So, has there been any chance to share findings with the other countries? And is there anything interesting coming out of that? And I don't know why I'm going to ask this, but particularly with any other countries that don't have rice as a staple food. So some of the African countries where I know they're using different staples. Anything coming out of that?
Thank you. I am Asep from SMERU. Again, congratulations for conducted study. However, since this is an ongoing study, I think I will use this opportunity to suggest some improvement for the basis of the study. The first one, when you say food price volatility, my impression is that food prices goes up and down. However, your finding seems only to refer to what happened when food price increase. So what happened when food price going down? Just the symmetric mirror image, meaning that when the price increase, people reduce quantity and quality of food, and when price decrease, they increase the quantity and quality of food. Or maybe not. Maybe they will spend more on cigarettes and cell phone credit, for example. I think that's we have to find out also. Secondly, I think it's also important for you to look not only at the poor household, but also at the higher level of welfare. Because then you can compare the response and the coping between different groups of people. Because, for example, if you find that food price volatility affect negatively only on poor households, then the implication is we should not worry about food price volatility, but we should worry more about poverty. We should address our tensions more on the poverty issue. But if we find that food price volatility affects the welfare of much wider population, including the middle class, then we should suggest that the government should put more emphasis on food price stabilization. But if you only look at the poor people, you will not be able to get that kind of understanding. So you will not be able to give policy priorities based on this finding. The last one is on the future farmer. I think that's not complete yet, but I think it's important to look at the implications of what will happen from that and put that into the more national perspective. Right now, agriculture contributes 15% to GDP and 35% to employment. So indeed, we have a lot of surplus of labor in the agriculture sector. So when people don't want to be farmers anymore, I think in a way that's good, because in the long run that will increase the productivity in the agriculture sector. What we need to do is we should invest more so that the people who are left in the agriculture sector will have the capacity to use better technology, more capital intensive machinery and everything. So the productivity in the agriculture sector will increase. Thanks, I think that's my comment.
Thank you. Safa?
Hi, I'm Safa, formerly SMERU, now UNESCO. I just had a couple questions in terms of coping methods. In your research, in talking to households that had greater number of children, did you find that there were any new or novel coping methods, or it was the same as the other families but to a greater extent? And also on your slide 23, in Cianjur you list Zakat, and in Banjar you write cooperatives as forms of support. They don't seem to be very accessible, but in terms of creativity and as sources of support, could you maybe talk more about that and why they might not appear on the other sites, but they do in these two? Thank you. And thank you for your presentation.
Thank you for your question. Okay, I think I'll try to respond the Mas Justin question about the actually what they refer to the trans the source of support they are referring to is I think it's more about transactive relation, but not fully transactive, because in some cases they were willing to have in depth with their relatives, but in other case they just want to ask money with no return, something like that. So somehow I think, but it's more about transactive relation, and but in just like in Cianjur, for example, in Cianjur, they don't want to rely on their relatives because they think, like I mentioned before, that because they think that their relative is also in the difficult position, so they cannot do that much. So what they do is just go to the neighbor owning the food stall to have in there or any kind of help they need. And for the less participation of the poor, here on our study in urban poverty, one of the reasons they not participate in the social gathering is because of the event is conducted in daytime when they are working. But in here, because of this is in the more in the rural context, especially for the Cianjur and Banjar side, people have more free time at home. So the main reason of them, let's say, their participation in social gathering is more about financial reason. It's like now one of the men we are interviewed, he was always come to the Quran recital gathering, but now he doesn't do it anymore because if he come to the masjid, so he has to give some sedekah, something like that. And also, yeah, in the case of wedding ceremony, yeah, people now being afraid of receiving the wedding invitation because, yeah, in one side they feel happy someone get married, but in other side they feel ashamed if they cannot give any money for the couple. That's why for them this is kind of problematic situation because in one side they want to keep the relationship with the other, the social relationship with the other, but in another side they don't have any financial to support their social relationship. So yeah, there's so the social also need financial. And also for uang jajan, yeah, pocket money for children is still feel as a big burden for the household finance because maybe I can give some description. In one of our household interview, the food basket in the slide, he was an employee and her wife working in the garment factory, and he don't make any much of money. But he told us that in a day he can give pocket money to his children as much as 10,000 rupiah. Yeah, 10,000 rupiah, I think it's quite a lot for children. And he give it not at a time, but just like in the morning, he gave the child pocket money to buy maybe tofu or fritter, and in the afternoon, the child come after him again and asking money again to buy snack, cracker, and in the afternoon, the children asking money again for buying bakso. So and also there's a lot of people running food business in areas, so then this become a problem for parents. And also the pocket money also give another impact to the nutrition of the children because children who have a lot of snack, they become unwilling to eat maybe their dinner or they don't want to have a breakfast at home. So it will give another impact to the nutrition of the children. And also maybe I'd like to add our experience in North Jakarta. That time I'm with Bu Hari doing research in North Jakarta. This is out of this study, but I think this is still related. So there's a lot of women working as a child pillar in the North Jakarta. They're working all day and they never cook for the family. Yeah. They just some of them prepare rice, only rice without side dishes, and some of them do not prepare anything for the family food. So what they do is they just give the children money right away and just let the children to decide what to buy for their food in the day. So yeah, in one side, children feel so happy because they're free to buy anything they want. Children, they really like snack or fritter, so they feel so happy. But in oh yeah, also the parents, especially fast. But in nutrition side, I think it can jeopardize the nutritional status of the children. Yeah, but maybe this is also related to the education of the woman. We don't think that the women have sufficient knowledge about nutrition so that they do that kind of practice to their children. And also, they think that their decision to give money to the children in form of pocket money, they think this is the way for them to saving. But if we look into detail, if we count all the costs, actually the cost of giving children pocket money is more expensive than if she just cook at home. And also, also more healthy. Maybe there's some share that we found in the study field. And also a question from Robert. Actually, we done a comparative study. So this study is conducted in 10 countries. I forgot the name. Okay. In Indonesia, and also the same study also conducted in Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Kenya, Bangladesh, Guatemala, Zambia, Bolivia, Pakistan, and Vietnam. And I think this is also related to the Pak Asep comment on the copy to look at the non-poor household. This is because this is the design of the study that we look at the poor household. But that's a good point and a good input for us. I think we can make improvement for the second phase of the study. I think we can put the non-poor household to get better information. And maybe to our same question. What happened when price went down? I think it's a good idea to have a look what happened when the price went down. But I think the problem is we have to wait until the price of food went down. So hopefully we can match the moment with our field trip study. But that's a very good input for us because people often misunderstanding to differentiate between higher food price and food price volatility, because higher food price is when the price getting more higher, and actually the food price volatility is simply a variation of price in certain period of time. So and for food price volatility itself, it's still on the debate if we want to look at the issue of food security from the food price volatility, because some of economists argue that what is the more important is to look at on the higher food price, not on the food price volatility, because because food price volatility not only high, but also there's a moment of when the price is get cheaper, and it will give a benefit for the customer. But actually, I think this is not because I'm doing the study of food price volatility, but I do really agree to see the food security from the food price volatility because of in food price volatility there's uncertainty factors. So if in the case of higher food price, the customer will get benefit because the producer will get benefit because they have more margin for their commodity, and the customer is the one who suffer from the effect. But actually, and that's why some economists argue that we have to focus on the hiking food price. But I think that this kind of economists is because of their on the side of the customer. They don't give really much attention to the producer. The importance of looking at food price volatility because of the food price volatility, like I told you before, that it has uncertainty factors. It affected the producer, and most of food producer in the world is smallholder farmer, and actually they are also the net customer. So at the long run, the uncertainty from the food price volatility will inhibit the investment in agriculture and make the agriculture business become risky, and at the end it will also affect the farm decision to produce more food or not. So at the long run it will affect to the food stock of the world. So that's why it is very important to look at in the food price volatility. From Safa, we don't find any brand new coping method in our field study, but I don't know this is new or not, but we found that there's a woman changing the way of cooking to save the cooking oil. So he used to cook the salty fish by fried it, and now he just in Indonesia we call it sunrise, so fried without oil. And what else? I don't think there's any brand new cooking method that people do in the field that we visit. And also about zakat, it only appears in Cianjur because Cianjur is I consider Cianjur as religious kabupaten because the Islamic community is very strong in the area, and also the zakat is not in the household and community level. There's also zakat arranged by government official at desa, at village level. So I think in Cianjur zakat is everywhere, not only on the household level but also in the apparatus level. What I saw in the village office, they have a board about they have a note about the zakat they receive and zakat they allocate. So I think zakat is everywhere in Cianjur. This is also because the government of Cianjur is I don't know, the government or the bupati, but they want to give image that their area is religious area. So they also have, for example, in the education sector, they have regulation to, I mean, for the school children, they have to take madrasah diniyah, yeah, after the formal school. So yeah, I think that's why Jakarta is only there in Cianjur. But maybe if we take another sample site in Sukabumi, there will also Jakarta. Maybe because Sukabumi have the similar policy on Islamic, something like that. And the cooperative in Banjar, maybe Pak Bambang can add some more, but I'll try to explain you that there's a cooperative of the mining company, so the worker can have a debt from the cooperative. So that's kind of cooperative, worker cooperative. But actually, there's also more informal, not informal, but cooperative of the company. They can also access it. Yeah, actually in Banjar, because they some of them have assets. That's why there's a bank, cooperative, something like that. And I think cooperative is considered as a more formal institution. That one in the, especially that one in the company. Yeah. Have you satisfied with my answer?
I don't know, I think, oh, sorry.
Can I ask one very, very quick question following up? Mary Hilderbrand from the School of Government and Public Policy. And on this list, I'm wondering about how you did the research. Did you give them a list of things to choose from and say how often they used it, or was it an open-ended question where they could actually say where they went to? Because I was thinking, just suddenly, as a result of what you were just saying, if you gave them a list, you might have missed some of the things that they went to and you didn't have that on your list. So I was just wondering how that research was done.
Yeah, what we give to them is open question. So so this is a more qualitative approach. Yeah, so that is open question. But if maybe there's some problem that is from our list, but actually what here in our list is programs that is noticed and accessible for them, and they able to benefit from them.
Yeah.
I would like to follow up on Sapa's questions about new coping methods. I have seen a study which shows that actually human body can store food, and for example during good time, during hard time, people will eat a lot, especially fat and during bad time, during planting season, for example, people eat less and they use the fat in the body for their activities. So I think it will be good if you can also look at this phenomenon, whether it also occurs in Indonesia or not, whether people think about that in terms of storing energy sources in the body.
They don't feel hungry or something, because I mean, usually fat people easy to get hungry, or maybe it's just because they don't realize their body can actually get.
That's your opinion, but we don't know about.
Oh yeah, you okay? I think one more what Pak Asep input on on future farmers. The implication at the national level, yeah, what do we need to invest in agriculture? One of our youth respondents, I think he is one who has revolutionary thinking. So yeah, he have an idea. He is interesting to be a farmer, but as the owner of the farming. But yeah, he said that government should invest more on agriculture so that the young people can be attracted to the sector. He does really agree about it. But yeah, only one boy, only one respondent who has the kind of revolutionary thinking.
There is another comments or?
The sample size, in each area we have 10 household case study, in this time only 4 household, and we have key informant interview about 6 to 7 sample. Also we have FGD with village elite, the youth, the woman group, and the men group. And also for this year, because of our special topic of the year is future farmer, we also have for interview with youth. So 2 is school youth and women, and school youth men, working youth men, working youth women.
How often is the physical interview? Every 2 months or only once a year?
Only once a year. Yeah. Last year we conduct the field study on May, June, and August. Yeah. We're planning to have another field research in this June, starting in this June. Yeah, in the same household. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also we have a household having with a pregnant woman. Yeah. That is we want to see how the children in the future. But the sample of pregnant woman is only one in each side. Yeah. Also the household sample, we choose from different household characteristics. So there is household with elderly, household with extended family, household with disabled, women-headed household, household with migrant workers. So the idea is we try to have a lot of insight from different kind of characteristics of the household and also of the area, site area. Any question, comments, anybody else?
I think did we still did we need to extend the time of our, if there's many I know I see that there's a lot of question, I think, but we can discuss it after this session, so we can have informal discussion after the session due to the time limitation. And I think all the question and response strengthen our thinking that this study is very important for us, and I think we also thanks for any valuable comments, because I think there's so many valuable comments from the participants, like we must to clearly define the definition of food and our basic understanding of nutrition. And I think one issue that Robert raised that maybe not answered directly, that's about he asking about the comparability of the countries. He asking about how you ensure that this issue can be comparable with this cross country, but I think it's a good issue also. And also one good, very important question is how is if the price is down. So I think we thank you for all your participation, because I think all your comments is, will develop this research, and I think the ultimate outcome of the research is how to recommend a policy, how to help them. I think the ultimate goal is understanding how to help them and which best policy that the government or other part, non-government can help them. And so I think it's a best way to conclude this seminar of food price volatility by have a free lunch together after this discussion. So after this, we already provide you a lunch, so maybe we can discuss in the lunchroom, and then thank you for your participation, and I hope we will see you again next week, because we will also have next week we have Patrick Barron from Oxford University. He will discuss about after conflict, and also you can show the last slide of presentation. And I think just to remind that you can still connect to us by visiting our website www.smeru.org.id, and on your right side there's a book shelf that displaying our publication. So if you have intend to request for one of our publication, you can fill the form in there. So you can and also all our publication are available in electronic version in our website, so you can just download it for free. So I think Pasek want to say something. So thank you for your participation, and let's have lunch.